advances to the Final Four.
Shout out Chillinois Basketball Podcast.
Shout out to Chillinois Podcast.
Shout out Chillinois Podcast.
Shout out Chillinois Basketball, man.
Welcome back to the Chillinois Basketball Podcast. This is now 2 days in a row. It's 2 days in a row. We're recording videos for you guys. So we hope you're enjoying the content. We've got another game Sunday. Maryland in College Park. Maryland's a team that the Illini usually struggle with, but this Maryland team is really, really bad. Of all the Big Ten teams rated in KenPom, I mean they're all rated in KenPom, but of all the Big Ten teams, they're the second lowest rated team in KenPom. They're just 2 spots ahead of Penn State, who is the lowest rated Big Ten team, and University of Illinois Chicago is actually higher in terms of KenPom than Maryland is this year. So if that doesn't speak volumes to how bad this team is and how bad they've been this year under first year of Buzz Williams, I guess we'll find out Sunday and see if the Illini can make a difference or show people even more how bad this team is. I'm hoping they come out with a little bit of fire. It will be Maryland's senior night, so that's always emotional for the home team, but it's going to be a pretty small crowd, I'd imagine, for Maryland. I was looking in some Maryland Reddits just like before we started this this call, and the Maryland fans are not happy with Buzz Williams. And I know it's his first year. Kevin Willard left last year. They had a great season with Derek Queen. They were supposed to have a better season, not better than last year, but they were supposed to have a pretty okay season this year. They had Miles Rice, the transfer from Indiana. Pharrell Payne was playing kind of out of this world to begin the season. And then the wheels kind of fell off the track. So it has not been great for Maryland this year, but as far as historical records that Buzz Williams has broken in his first season as Maryland head coach, this was pointed out by somebody on Reddit who is a Maryland fan. Worst conference loss to Michigan State by 43. That's all time for Maryland basketball. Most points given up at Xfinity Center, which is Maryland's home court, 101 to Michigan this season. Worst loss at Xfinity Center by 30 to Purdue. And if they were to lose to the Illini, it would be the most losses on their home court in a single conference season. No, I'm sorry, in a single season in general, not even just conference. So he's blowing away records, but not the good kind. And Maryland fans are already pretty pissed off. I can't imagine he's on the hot seat in year one at Maryland. It's Buzz Williams. I'm sure they're going to give him a few years to turn things around, but it's been pitiful. And the Illini get to face the Terrapins as their last game of the season. Thoughts, Noah?
Yeah, it's weird that this Maryland team is this bad. They get the new coach. I was thinking that they were gonna be pretty good, honestly. But it's fortunate for Illinois because, like you said, we're a team that struggles against Maryland for some reason. They just seem to have our number. So that's one reason that I'm pretty nervous, honestly. It's the only reason I'm nervous. I still think Illinois should be able to blow this team out of the water, but like you said, it is their senior night, so that is concerning as well. I'd be curious to see who goes off, who the 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 player that Brad wants to give the ball to, because I imagine Brad's gonna pick somebody and go, okay, here, it's an easy win, last game of the night or last game of the year, go off, go crazy. So whether it's gonna be Keaton, maybe he's gonna give it to Kylan since Kylan, didn't have a very good senior night. It's gonna be interesting. I think Illinois should blow them out of the water. Hopefully, knock on wood. Well, I won't say blow them out of the water. I think this is going to be closer than other people, lead it on to believe. But either way, I'm looking forward to it because it's a Sunday. It's like literally the last game of the season for the Big Ten at least. So end in style, end with a bang, and hopefully I would like to see, a redemption for Kylan. We'll save that for the MVP predictions, but I'm looking forward to the game nonetheless.
Yeah, it should be a fun game to watch, all things considered. Like, as long as the Illini put in a good performance, I think it could be a game where some guys who haven't had great performances recently kind of get their heads back together. Kylan's a good candidate for that. I don't think Kylan's senior night was too poor. I think he just wasn't really assertive enough on offense himself. Maybe just a little bit, not hesitant, but a little bit too. He was being too good of a teammate almost. He just kept passing the ball away, but he wasn't necessarily needed against Oregon. It's not like we needed him to score 25 that night when Andre scored 21 and everybody else shot the ball pretty well until the second half at least. But I was checking the spread because the Illini did beat Maryland earlier on this season at home. One of the few teams the Illini have played twice this year. They beat Maryland by 19, I think it was, in their first matchup. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, they won by the final score of 89 to 70. So 19 points. Um, the spread right now I think is 18 and a half. Let me double check that as well. 18. Yeah, 18 and a half. So they kind of have it right around the same one they had it at the beginning of the Big Ten season when the Illini faced off against the Terrapins. If you remember correctly, the first game the biggest worry for the Illini was David Diggy Coit. Um, Coming into the first matchup, he had 30 points and then 43 against USC and Penn State. He only scored 15 against the Illini, so he wasn't as efficient. He has had some okay games against Minnesota. He scored 29, but his last few have been pretty poor. He scored 6 points against Nebraska, 10 points against Rutgers, and 2 points against Wisconsin, all in losses. They've lost their last three, so they're not in a good spot right now, but it is senior night. Does that concern you at all? I know we're always worried about the Maryland trip. Um, was it not 2 years ago that they lost in College Park?
Yeah, I do worry about that. I just saw this post on Instagram. If you buy one of the St. Patty's Day jerseys, which are dope, you get
Those
one of
are
those free hats, dude. That's pretty sick.
that's a good deal.
I know. I mean, talk about St. Patty's Day fit. You'll be in style hitting the town.
You
But
know how
I
cool
already,
a Keaton Wagler St. Patrick's Day jersey is going to be like 15 years from now? You like
oh, dude,
somebody's son is going to pull up to that in Lollapalooza, and I'm going to be at Lollapalooza as a 40-year-old just enjoying music, but I'm going to be like, is that a
that's this. No, the sad thing is you are going to be there if it's at 40
I
years old.
I
That's for
love
sure.
Lollapalooza. I love live music, and it's a great deal if you look at it economically. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but I do imagine I would see a Keaton Wagler jersey 15 years from now when I'm like 40 years old at Lollapalooza, and I'm gonna have to talk to the kid and be like, is that a Keaton Wagler, Illinois St. Patrick's Day jersey? Be like, who gave you that? Oh, my father did. He was in school when Keaton was playing. Have you heard of the Chillinois basketball podcast, by the way? Just
My
imagine.
dad is Big Gucci Sosa.
Oh man, that would be. Yeah, my dad used to be the meme god. Have you ever heard of Big Gucci Sosa? Oh boy, kid, have I stories about Big Gucci Sosa. Anyways, you're worried about senior night? Yes or no?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, senior night plus Maryland. So both of those things combined, I'd say, makes me more worried than if it was just a regular mid-season game, nothing crazy. But it's the last game of the year. Their program is in shambles right now. They really, really, really need a win. And Illinois has not been playing their best basketball. So it would honestly wouldn't surprise me if we lost this game. Now, again, knock on wood, I hope we don't. But it's a game that worries me. So I'd say yes.
It's kind of funny. I'm looking through Maryland's last game, trying to figure out like who's hot for Maryland right now and who I'm gonna kind of do a breakdown on. And like, if you're Brad, who are we scouting right now? But if you look at their last game, they only scored 45 points against Wisconsin, and I don't think anybody scored more than 13. So it's not like anybody went off for Maryland. Solomon Washington had two. I do like Solomon Washington. He reminds me a lot of Morez Johnson. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember the first game. But he's 6'7". He just plays a lot taller. He's also 220 pounds, so he's quite a load down there. I think the Avicii brothers will have an issue handling him just because how physical he is, but he's only one player. He has had some injury problems this season, so he's not had a good last couple of games. Had 2 points in their last one against Wisconsin. Elijah Saunders is another starter for them. He had 11 in their last game, and then Andre Mills had 14. The offense was not firing on all cylinders for them at all. They've also switched up their starting lineup. I don't think Andre Mills was starting at the beginning of the year. They didn't start Diggy Coit, so is Diggy Coit injured? He only played 11 minutes last game. Hmm. That is perplexing to me. But I guess at the end of the season, you're kind of just like we're gonna play whoever. Maybe we'll build towards next year. They are starting Andre Mills, who's a freshman, so maybe they're giving their freshmen some minutes to get confidence for next season. But that's my breakdown of Maryland. Like I don't really know who to talk about. I'm sure the coaching staff or the Illini have a more in-depth breakdown because I don't think they just look at any roster and they're like, "Gosh, these guys are bad. That's all we have to say about them." But there is some European flair. They're playing their freshman from Cordoba, Spain, Guillermo del Pino. So there might be a battle inside there. He's also a 7 footer, but no, I'm sorry, he's 6'5". I thought he was a
Wait, where
center.
did you say he's from?
Spain, Cordoba.
Could be some beef, could be some European beef there.
I mean, that's like the highlight of this game, unless the Illini lose, and then the highlight would be, holy shit, how did we just lose to Maryland? But Maryland's also not playing for anything either, because besides their senior night, they can't elevate their spot in the Big Ten tournament. They're going to be playing on Tuesday. Um, so it's just really for pride, and it's not like any of these seniors have been there 4 years either. So it'll be an interesting one because it just seems like Maryland is so down and battered right now, but I wouldn't be shocked to see the Illini come out slow because of that. You know, it's a 2 p.m. game, so it's a 2 p.m. Central start, meaning it's a 3 p.m. start Eastern time? Yeah. Um, Earlier. We don't like the earlier Big Ten games, but it is a Sunday, and I don't know. Maybe they'll all dress up and fly out in their Balkan outfits for the last game of the season, and that'll give us the momentum we need. Um, 18 and a half points is the spread, like I said earlier. Noah, if you want to get to a prediction now, you taking more than that? You taking less than that? I think it's probably right on that line.
Yeah, honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's under, so I'll go with that. But I'm hoping that Illinois just goes crazy from the three. That's really going to be the key for this game. I think a couple podcasts have mentioned it. You want Illinois to get comfortable at the three because Tommy's been off, Z's been off, Andre's been off all season, Kylan's been not doing great. So you really want to see the team start to gel with the 3-point shooting. I'm going to be looking for Tommy specifically because he's just been in such a slump lately. And it's a game where you can afford to take some crazy shots because you're hopefully going to win by a lot. Obviously, you don't want to just force it like, last game with Keaton, there was a couple threes where he's just launching them from half court, and it's like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, you don't have to do that. I get that you're trying to, you know, add to your highlight reel for the draft, but we also want to actually win the games. So it's going to be, I think the 3-point shooting and the rebounding as well. Obviously, I mentioned rebounding every single game, but especially on the road, it's going to be key. I do wonder with the senior night aspect, how, wild will the crowd be? Will there be many people there? Will there be more Illinois fans than Maryland fans? I don't know. It's going to be, probably not many fans, so I imagine that Illinois is going to be comfortable, but even if there were a lot of fans, I mean, we won at Mackey, we won in Lincoln, so clearly that doesn't bother Illinois very much. But it's going to be hopefully a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like I said, if I had to predict if I was going to bet rather, like an alternative line, I'd feel comfortable Illinois minus 12, but anything over that, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully my vision doesn't come true, but this Maryland team, watching Illinois the last 5 years, I just know what happens when we play Maryland, and it's not good.
So are you giving a game prediction at this point, or you said probably 12?
Yeah,
Keeping it
I'm
up.
gonna give my MVP prediction first. I want to go Tommy because, like I said, it needs to be a Tommy game. Sleepers brought up some good points. Keaton, this is the last regular season game. He's kind of been dropping in this draft in the lottery or the mock drafts. And so maybe they want to get Keaton a great game so that he can, jump up a spot or two. I don't know. Andre still is trying to get into the rhythm. He had a really good game last game, but I think another solid game this game would do wonders for this team. Um, man, I'm gonna go with Keaton. I think, well, Are we still doing the MVP besides Keaton? Because he
All right.
honestly,
Well, it's the last game of the year. You could take Keaton.
I'm gonna take Keaton with an honorable mention. I'll say Tommy, honorable mention. But I think Keaton's gonna go off this game. I think he's just gonna, like we said, or like I just said 5 seconds ago, I think he's gonna look at it like, yo, we're gonna win this game. I want to have a great game. I want to show the scouts what I can do. I imagine there's going to be a decent amount of scouts. I mean, East Coast game, you know. So Keaton Wagler MVP. I'm going to go 31 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. And honorable mention Thomas Love. I'm going to say 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Final score, Illinois 79, Maryland 61. And I'm going to go Brad Underwood technical in the first half because we start sluggish and he does it to get the team fired up. And if that hits, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket.
Probably should if that hits. I mean, I could see that though. I don't think he's gotten a tech. Has he gotten a technical all season? Off the top of my
He
head, I don't think so.
Orlando Antigua got a technical. We thought that it was Brad. Remember at the
Yeah.
Northwestern game?
Brad's been, I mean, there has been a lot of moments of him like screaming on camera this year, but I feel like he's been
He's been getting more
relatively,
respect from the refs. The refs don't blow it as easily on him because, you know, like Izzo, like they're not giving Izzo technicals, but Izzo, you know, he'll scream at the refs. So maybe they're just giving Brad a little bit more respect.
or he's gonna take him out to the Pizza Hut parking lot and beat the crap out of him. They better know to give him more respect now.
I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Um, I'm gonna make a game prediction for this one just because I haven't in the last couple, and then we beat Oregon, so I think we're back on track. If this screws us over, then I'll take blame for it. But I think the Illini win this one big. Um, I think Mirkovic is MVP. I think he's just gonna have a good game as long as Tomislav is dealing with Solomon Washington. I think that frees Mirkovic up to do kind of whatever he wants. So I could see Mirkovic 18 points, 12 rebounds, and a dunk, a Mirkovic dunk. And we also get some AJ Red minutes at the end of the game.
I need to make 2 comments
Okay.
after your point.
All right. Did you hear the last part? AJ Red minutes at the end of the game?
That would be crazy.
Well, that means the score is going to be a blowout. So I'm predicting 93-68 Illinois.
Okay, I'll make 2 points. I predicted that it would hit the under, which is 18 points, and I predicted an
Well,
18
no,
point win.
you just said it would be less than 18 and a half points. So
And
not
then
the
I said
under.
alternative line 12, and then I predicted an 18-point score. So I
I
just take I
I wasn't going to call you out on that, but I did notice that, and then I was just going to let you run with it.
All right, well, I'm still sticking with my score, so either way,
All right.
well, the line is 18 and a half, and I predicted 18, so that is true. But second point, a lot of people, especially sleepers, I've been hearing in their videos, they keep mentioning Keaton Wagler. He can't dunk. That's the reason he's not top 5 right now in the draft. We've never seen him dunk. And I'm like, we've never seen him dunk. That's crazy. Like, how can he not dunk? You know,
He can dunk.
he's 6'6" or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen him dunk. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then Illinois basketball, Illinois, you know, media, shout out to them, their social media team. They've been dropping these videos. They made one, or I think it was actually the Big Ten. It's
Yeah,
like
it
the
was
Big
the
Ten
journey.
journey.
They did a feature on him.
So they did the feature on him.
You saw his high school clip, right?
Halfway through the video, they show his dad. His dad is white. This is why he can't dunk.
No,
It's the very rare shout out white dad, black mom. That's the rare combo. And it's an unfortunate combo because you're going to get the dad's genes in terms of basketball. I mean, you're at a disadvantage. That's just, that's what I saw visually and it clicked.
I mean his
So,
dad is tall. His dad is like 6'5".
but
Um,
tall doesn't mean vertical. I'm telling
but
you, I just watched a Nate Robinson highlight reel. For some reason, his clips have been going around on Instagram. White dudes can't do that at that height. They
hey,
can't do that.
Go back and watch the feature again. They show a highlight clip of him and he dunks it. And I was just as surprised. And I was like, oh, there's a Keaton dunk. I don't think it wasn't like a super elevated like Cohen Card dunk. His head wasn't at the rim or anything, but he was on a fast break, like him alone, and he dunked it. So I would imagine if Keaton gets a breakout, like a fast break, and it's just 1-on-0, he will dunk the ball. I called Merkovich dunk. Do you want to predict a Keaton Wagler dunk in this Maryland game?
Yeah, I do. I mean, especially if he has a blowout performance, I'm going to predict a Keaton Wagler dunk.
But
But
I will argue, I think the only two players on Illini's roster that could actually catch a lob from somebody and dunk it would be Zvonimir, who we've seen do it a bunch of times, and then Andre. And Andre has more missed dunks this
Ben,
season.
Ben can do it.
Ben probably, yes, Ben can elevate. Obviously Blake
Blake
Fagbemi,
Fagbemi
yeah. Um,
simultaneously.
yeah.
The
But
most
other than
athletic
that,
player on the team.
but I'm thinking like who else could get because to catch a lob, you have to be like your hands have to
I
be at
think
least
I
like
think AJ Red could.
I don't know if AJ Red has that bounce.
I don't know. I've never seen him like play more than 2 minutes in a game, but this would be the game.
Yeah,
Another
this will
guy.
be. We'll see
He's
it.
like, guys,
Uh,
guys, let's. You know how crazy that was last game when I scored?
Kylan
Let's do
probably
it
could
again.
actually. Kylan probably could actually, just because I've seen him get rebound putback dunks, which you have to be a pretty high above the rim to do that. Um, I just don't think we'd ever
Jason Jacks this pre-shoulder
low claw,
injury. Yeah.
but definitely not Petrovic. Maybe Tony Bilic. Maybe we'll find out Tony Bilic has bunnies and he's just like an all-world dunker. That would be cool.
I mean, I would love to see Brad put him in for one game. I mean, are you allowed to do that?
I mean, if he wants to completely blow his eligibility, yeah.
But it's only one game. Doesn't it have to be a certain percentage of the season you play or something?
I think for
Let
medical red shirts,
let us
but
know in the comments. Let us know. He's just a odd looking guy though. I'm not gonna lie on that. He
he's
looks
kind of scary.
odd.
He does look a little odd, but I am expecting big things from him next year if he doesn't transfer before
No,
that.
I don't want I mean, maybe he's good, but I feel like if he was really good, Brad would have said something by now in the media. He would have been like, "Oh man, Tony Billich, you guys gotta check this kid out in practice. He really, you know." So the fact he's not saying it, he might not even be practicing.
He's our secret. He's our secret.
Secret
Like Keaton
weapon.
Wagler. We're keeping all these secrets close. We're keeping our cards close to our chest here. Before we wrap this one up, because we've given game predictions and MVP predictions, it is the final game of the Big Ten season. It's the final game of the regular season for Illinois. So Noah, let's give ourselves a pat on the back because we previewed at least every single game starting with UConn. And we will recap this one as well, assuming we don't like get struck by lightning or something before then. So knock on wood. But give ourselves a pat on the back. And I also want to ask you if you had to give the Illini regular season or just conference season in general a letter grade, what are you giving it?
So first, I want to say if you've made it this far, like and subscribe to the channel. We've been making these videos, and I don't even th I think the Yukon game was our second video. I think there was a game before the.
I think we previewed UConn. That was the first one.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. It's a good game to start. I mean, I guess it was a bad game in hindsight because we got beat, but every game, I mean, preview, recap, whether they're combined, we've been grinding. But overall, this season, I think it's been pretty good. It's kind of sad the end of the season, didn't pan out the way we wanted it to, but for the most part, I mean, I don't think we had any bad losses. I mean, not like last year where we had multiple bad losses. We won all the games we needed to win and then some. I did not think we were going to win at Purdue. I mean, at Lincoln, I didn't think we were going to win that at the time either. So those were two really solid wins. I mean, I didn't think we were going to beat Texas Tech. I didn't think that we were going to beat Tennessee. And so all these wins, they're pretty it shows that Illinois is progressing as a program. It shows that we can start to win these big games because for the last 5 years, it just seems like those really, really big games, we just can't win them. And so this year it was kind of a breath of fresh air to win some of these big games, especially at Purdue. That's just one that's plagued us for a while. And that's unfortunate. You win at Purdue, but then you lose to Michigan. Maybe it's a sign of things to change. Maybe that'll be the new dominance in the Big Ten, Illinois over Purdue. Although I don't want to lose to Michigan ever again. I'd much prefer, Nah, I'd much prefer to beat Michigan, I think. I can handle losing to Purdue, but I can't lose to Marez again. That's why I'm upset if we end up getting the 4 seed because then we'll have to play Marez before we get to like the Big Ten finals. So I'm not too happy about that. But I mean, it's not set in stone yet. Whenever Nebraska plays Iowa, which almost, Iowa almost beat Michigan the other night. So Iowa's not no slouch. And I think they've already beat Nebraska once this year. So it's going to be a good game. I mean, if Iowa wins that, then that's even more reason to tune into this Illinois game because I think the Iowa-Nebraska game is on before the Illinois game. I think it's maybe on Saturday. So I'm going to be watching that one for sure.
Letter grade?
Mm, I'll go with a B plus. I mean, yeah, I'll go B plus. I'll go B plus. I think going into the season, this is kind of where I expected the team to finish. For a while there, it was looking like we could win the Big Ten, and then at the end, things kind of fell off. And if we end up finishing fourth, I think going into the season, I would have probably predicted about fourth. So. But fourth is still solid in this conference because it was a loaded, conference, especially at the top. So fourth ain't terrible. Obviously, third would be great too. And what really hurts is just losing those close games. You wish you could have just pulled one of those out, one of those overtime losses. And so that's what's tough. But I think B plus.
I think if you look at the season from the perspective of this is Brad Underwood's most talented team, arguably. And then you also take into account that their offense is historically rated in KenPom and number one historically rated. If you look at it with those two things in like the number one and two categories of your mind, I think you could rate this season pretty low because you're like, this is Brad's most talented team. We haven't had this much talent since probably 2005, and they didn't win the Big Ten. Now they still got the Big Ten tournament to go, and they still have the NCAA tournament. But just the regular season, if you look at it that way, you could probably rate it as low as a B minus, I would say. But then if you look at it in other ways, it's a step in the right direction from last year, obviously. This experiment that a lot of people laughed at the beginning of the year with what are we doing with all these European players? Nobody's going to perform well. They're going to be subpar athletes. They're going to be out physically matched in every game. Now, some of that came true, as we've seen for most of the season, but I think if you take it into consideration that a lot of people doubted this Illinois team, a lot of people said it wouldn't work, and then they ended up becoming the number one offense in all of college basketball history, and also surpassing their win total last year, having another 20 plus win season, finishing fourth in the Big Ten, which I think you and I both said when we had Sahil on the podcast and did like that mid-season review. I think we both said fourth or fifth. And they still have the Big Ten tournament to go. So with that in mind, I'm going to give the season an A minus just because I don't want to give it a B plus as well. Um, but I agree with you. It's like a pretty good grade, is a step in the right direction. I think comedically and meme wise, this team was an absolute A plus, 110%. Most entertaining college basketball season I've ever watched from Illinois by far. And Sleepers made a really good point when they were talking about AJ Red. They did a little like 7 minute short video on him. They made the most true point I've heard anybody make in all of college basketball this season. If you're AJ Red, and you played 4 years at Illinois, you had the coolest, most entertaining 4 years any college basketball player could have ever had as a walk-on slash redshirt slash manager player. I mean, to see Terrence Shannon Jr., he started in what, 2022? So that would have been the last year of Kofi Coburn. So your freshman year, you're a manager for 7 foot, 270 pound Kofi Coburn. And then the next season's the Terrence Shannon Jr. season, and you watch Matthew Mayer over caffeinate himself on Monster. The next year, you go to the Elite Eight for the first time in school, or not school history, but for the first time since the Final Four in 2005. And then the next season was, well, I guess that would be 4 seasons. Did he play five? I'm confused how many seasons. Their
He
point was
might
true.
have played five because with COVID, I don't know how the hell that shit works. And
Yeah, I
he
mean,
might have redshirted a year too. I mean, he probably didn't play much.
regardless, the point was very true. An incredible 4 years of just a very interesting and entertaining program between players. I mean, they went down the list of players he had played with. It was like Coleman Hawkins was number one, obviously. And then you got Kasparis Yakachonis, you got Will Riley, you got Matthew Mayer, you got Terrence Shannon Jr. Who else do you have in there? You've got Dane Danger. I think Omar Payne was on one of AJ Red's teams. If I'm not entirely mistaken, I believe Georgie Bashanishvili was a teammate of AJ Red's. Um, this Illinois program just has characters that come in year out, even if you're like they're not going to be here for more than 1 year. I mean, he's got Andrei Stojakovic's phone number, dude, and Mihailo Petrovic's phone number. This dude could go to the Balkans whenever he wanted, and he's like number
I
one
don't
celebrity.
think it's a flex to have Mihailo Petrovic's phone number.
I mean, if you want to go to Serbia and have a lot of fun, I bet it is.
He's got Tony
He was
Bilic's phone
he was
number.
an Adriatic League MVP. That's pretty
Yeah.
big in Serbia.
Yeah, too bad he ain't doing jack squat for us.
Yeah, so I'm giving
He did have that cool under the leg pass. I will give him that.
yeah, him and AJ Red are like mind links, dude. If you're gonna throw an in between the legs pass, you better have like a neural link together or something.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I'm going A minus for the regular season for the Illini. If you're taking in the entire regular season, A minus. I would also give the Big Ten. I would give a B plus, but entire regular season, I give an A minus. So we seem to be in cahoots about that one. We have the same idea on that. The Illini will face Maryland on Sunday in their last regular season conference game, their last Big Ten season game. We'll recap that one. Hopefully it's a win. Hopefully it's a destructive win, and we don't have too much to recap about the game because I'd rather get into the Big Ten tournament. Instead of doing a separate video about the beginning of the Big Ten tournament, I'd rather just loop it into the recap, but we'll see because maybe the Illini will lose and then we'll have a lot more to talk about. But either way, they're going to play at 2 p.m. on Sunday. That game is on Fox. We're done with the Peacock games. There will be no Peacock games for the NCAA tournament or the Big Ten tournament. They'll both be on Fox or Big Ten Network or the NCAA tournament is like True TV, TBS, TNT, and I don't know the other. There's four of them that they all run the games on, but they just announced the commentary cruise, and I'm very excited because I think Bill Raftery is like all the way until the end to the Final Four, which is great. Can't wait to hear him say onions. Can't wait to hear the NCAA theme on what is it, TBS or whatever it is, the dun 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 dun. I get so excited. Dude, to me the day before, yeah, to me the day before, like the Tuesday, Wednesday playing games are cool. But the night of like Wednesday night, the night before the tournament, that's like the adult Christmas Eve. Like I can't even sleep the night before because I'm like I'm watching college basketball from 10:45 a.m. Central Time to fucking 10 p.m. at night. It's the best 12 hours for two
Well, in
consecutive
the
days.
first round is the best, obviously, because it's
Oh
the
yeah,
most
it's
games.
like a carnival, dude. It's awesome. You got like four TVs in front of you. You're checking your bracket every 2 minutes. I remember in high school, our principal used to let us like watch the TVs in like there was like a student gathering area, and he would put the games on TV. And he wrote us all passes one year because Duke was playing Mercer. It was like the Jabari Parker year, and they lost to Mercer. And none of us had Mercer in our brackets, but we were all rooting for Mercer. Shout out Jake Davis, Mercer transfer. But they beat Duke, and the
Jake
game was
Davis
going.
won that game.
Yeah, I think Jake Davis might have been like 3 years old. But anyways, our principal wrote us all late passes to our next class because he was like, "You guys can watch the end of the game. It's fine." So shout out my old principal. I actually don't remember what his name is, but he was a cool dude because he understood the brilliance of March Madness in college basketball, and it's right on the table. Next, I think it starts next week. No, Selection Sunday will be next Sunday, so
Yeah.
it's coming around the corner. It's the best time of the year. But we got one more game. Sunday, 2 p.m. I hope they bring their A games. I know Brad Underwood's going to have them prepared. I'll be watching. Actually, I'm going to be at the zoo on Sunday, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to watch it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the reptile house at the Lincoln Park Zoo and find the terrapin and make him watch it. Be like, you watch me.
What is a terrapin? It's a turtle?
It's like a big tortoise. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of a weak mascot, like a tortoise. Not
Well,
even
they're
like a
huge.
snapping turtle.
But I mean, like nothing can kill a tortoise. Like they're huge. They live to be like 250 years old. They're not
You
very
want to
aggressive.
you want to bet?
I mean, I'm sure like a hunter could find a way to kill it, but like alligators have tried. I've watched a video today of an alligator trying to chomp on a tortoise and it ran
You
away.
just throw it in the water, bro. It'll drown.
I think they swim. I think they're amphibious.
There
I could
are
be
some,
wrong.
okay, there are some amphibious tortoises, yes, They're
This is
also,
not the Animal Planet podcast. This
dude,
is
my buddy had a tortoise, a pet tortoise, and it ran away. And you're probably wondering, how does a tortoise run away? And
that's a good
it
point.
ran away and it fell off a bridge and drowned to death.
Oh, I was gonna say it probably outlived him. It's probably out there somewhere
No.
still like living, but well, that's a sad way to lose a tortoise, but hopefully the Illini can drown the terrapins on the tortoises or the terrapins or the turtles, whatever you want to call them. Hopefully they can drown them just as well on Sunday. Noah, ILL.
I and I.